Demaryius Thomas yesterday put a quote on his Facebook account. Let me read you the quote. Let me show it to you too. All right, here it is. Now let's remember, DT is not at camp with the rest of his teammates because he wants a long-term contract. It says here, this is according to DT, use absence to increase respect and honor. Now the assumption here is that by absence he means he's not working out with the rest of his team, even though the Broncos intend to franchise tag him and he is going to make around $13 million this year. Well, the vitriol from the fans responding to him on his Facebook account.
What do you think that means?
That's what I think it means. I think he believes that the Broncos are not respecting him or honoring him enough right now because they have not come to a long-term agreement with him. So he's using his absence to gain that honor and respect.
So if you were to stretch
that's how I construe it. All right.
I'm using this absence to get increased respect and honor from the team.
Yes.
That's how you interpret it.
Yes. Do you interpret it differently?
Well, I just think you had a few more characters. Somebody count how many characters that he used.
That's Facebook.
Well, okay.
All right.
Use another 5 paragraphs to explain what you mean. I'm sitting here going, okay, maybe the absence will be that he will have more respect and honor for the Broncos, or
it's possible. It's not the way it's being construed by most of the people who saw it.
I know somebody in the media that's talked to him twice, and lately.
You?
Yeah, me. And he's not going to participate. He's upset. He's mad. I told him I thought he was making a mistake not to at least go to Duke. I said, if you want to do this, it's your choice.
This is Instagram. He posted this in the last 24 hours as well. This is a picture of a beach resort. Don't know exactly where it is, but we're assuming that this is where he is right now instead of being at Dove Valley with his teammates working out. And now take a look at some of the comments.
Well, maybe he's not there. I can get a beach resort picture. And put
a lot of people believe that he was posting a picture of where he is.
Sure.
So these are some of the responses from Joe Forte. Come on, man, go to work. Another fan named Adam says, cool place, but a responsible athlete would be with his team.
Would you go back to that?
Here's some more.
After we get through, if you go back to that.
That doesn't look like Dove Valley, bruh. And from Kristen.
Bro.
Well, it says bro.
Well,
to remind me of Marshawn Lynch acting the way he did last year. You're losing your fan base by acting like an overpaid athlete. Soldiers make less a year to serve the country, and you can't pull your head out of your arse. You're also losing respect. And then John writes, if you drop a critical pass in the playoffs, I will repost this pic.
Yeah.
And then a couple more here from Matthew.
Sure.
Anyone else notice he took his post from yesterday down? That's the one about absence. Something about using absence to increase honor and respect, LMAO. And then Dana says, not cool, practice beats talent when talent doesn't practice. And then the last one, and this is Mark, and Mark is defending Demaryius here. He says, you people are idiots. He'll be to camp for mandatory workouts. If the Broncos want him back now, they can sign him. He's on record as saying he will play for less than his market value for the Broncos. I think we're blaming the wrong guy. DT, ignore the negative BS because real Broncos fans know that you are dedicated to this team. So there were some people who defended DT.
He is on record as saying he will play for less than his market value.
No, I don't remember seeing that.
Mark, I think you're awful on that. I've never heard him say that.
All right, so
I don't think there's any indication.
I'm going to tell you how I feel about this.
Well, can we post that photo again? Because I traveled to a lot of places.
Sure. And while we're posting it,
I think that's.
I think
that's either Cancun or Nassau in the Bahamas.
I understand fans get upset when these things happen, but fans also need to understand this is business. And you and I have talked about this. DT's doing what he believes he and his agent need to do, and that is by staying out, forcing the Broncos' hand to want to come to a long-term deal sooner rather than later. The Broncos feel, you know what, we're franchise tagging him, we're showing him respect and honor. We do intend to pay him $13 million this year. He should be here with his teammates. This isn't unusual. It goes on every year. There's usually a situation on just about every single team where this goes on. So fans get emotional. They get overly emotional. They're not standing in his shoes.
Get emotional.
They're not standing in DT's shoes. I get what's going on here. It doesn't bother me one bit. My guess is he's going to be in camp. John Elway has said a number of times he intends to get a long-term deal done with him. So these things just take time. They're big deals. They're big business deals. We're talking about a deal that could be as much as $65 million with a guarantee of somewhere between 20 and 30 million. Business deals of this magnitude take time. And this is the nature of the beast. This is sports and how it works.
Did the Broncos lose a playoff game last year?
They did.
Did they lose the Super Bowl?
The year before, yes, they did.
Did they lose a game in the playoffs?
Yes, they did. The year before to Baltimore.
Well, they did that with him. They can do that without him, if that's the way he feels.
But he's going to be on the team next year.
Well, we're not. Yeah, he'll be here.
They franchise tagged him.
Franchise tag him, and they can do that again next year. But I mean, do you want to pay a wide receiver $13-14 million for 5 years?
I don't know that that's necessary in this day and age. I mean, if you go through history, you see that many of the highest paid wide receivers in the game end up not winning anything.
I hope he makes $30 million a year.
Sure.
I don't really care.
But they also have a very good stable of wide receivers.
I don't think this is serving him well. I don't even think what John Elway said served him well or the team well.
But you know how it works. It's the way it's always worked. They'll get a deal done, and as soon as they get the deal done, everybody will forget about it. And all these people who are writing nasty things to DT, they're going to love him again.
Sure.
It's the business of football. That portion of the big stuff presented by the Celtic Tavern, the official sponsor of the Colorado Rapids. The Celtic provides a bus to every Colorado Rapids home game, and you can tailgate with everybody 2 hours before kickoff. Celtic Tavern is just 2 blocks west of Coors Field on Blake.